Now that you've learned how to properly draw support and resistance zones, let's talk about how we can set up trades with these zones. Trading strategies with support and resistance zones. In the previous video, we learned how to draw support and resistance zones in detail, and before watching this video, I recommend that you watch our previous videos one more time. Now, let's get into trading strategies with support and resistance zones. There are multiple different strategies associated with support and resistance zones, and we will be covering them today. Please make sure to note that you should never open a position solely based on a support resistance zone. You should always use a variety of other factors in order to get a confirmation. The first strategy is when price is moving down and reaches a support zone, where two scenarios could happen. 1. Price reacts to this zone and starts going up, gravitating back towards the resistance zones. In this case, we can open a long position and earn ourselves a nice profit. In this case, we can construct trend lines in order to get an entry confirmation, and obviously in this situation we would be looking for a bearish trend line breakout, and our entry should be when the price closes its candle above the bearish trend line. 2. The trend breaks through the support zone, and in this case we can profit from the fall in price by opening a sell position. My advice to you is to wait for a pullback to that support zone, which has been converted into a resistance zone since price broke through it, and on top of that, you should definitely make use of trend lines for a better entry. The second strategy would be when the price is in an uptrend and it reaches a resistance zone, where two scenarios could play out. 1. Price has a tendency to get rejected by the resistance and gravitate back towards its support zone, where in this case we can open a sell position and benefit from the drop in price. In order to have a more reliable confirmation, we can utilize a bullish trend line in this case, which can give us an optimal entry point when price breaks out of the trend line. 2. The price's trend breaks through the resistance and we can benefit from the rise in price, and in this case I would recommend you to wait for the price to pull back to that resistance zone, which now would be considered a support zone since price has punctured through it, and furthermore, you should definitely consider using a trend line and other elements to get a more reliable confirmation. This is when we stumble upon an interesting point called the trading range. Do you know what a trading range is and how you can use it? Let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for the next video to find out. Now head on over to a chart and try to find similar instances to what you learned today, or use Trade Desk to easily find support and resistance zones along with 500 other active strategies live on the market today.